Hey guys, it's Old Man G here, back again for another match reaction. And it has been it's been an interesting result today. Oh, sorry, I even got the banner, guys. Jeez. I wasn't even planning on even going live, by the way. Like the initial plan was to do a watch along, and then see what happened. And then I don't know what happened, guys. I really don't know what happened. If you are, I mean, first thing first, if you're new to the channel, to like and subscribe to receive falls into your next blah blah blah, all that jazz. But we'll first talk about obviously the Nigeria result. Obviously, Nigeria through in second place, as in this group, obviously beating Guinea-Bissau 1-0, which was great. I think I can safely say that I was certainly one of the people, given Nigeria's form, that thought that Nigeria basically would struggle to qualify. That, I'll be honest, that's what I thought. But the reality is that they managed to do something. They managed to do something. Because I want to focus more so on the actual Equatorial Guinea Ivory Coast game, just briefly. With Nigeria, I mean, the biggest issue with Nigeria right now is that the majority that there's the finishing. Nigeria, the keeper wise, I think I mean, if I just sort of scroll here, I'll just show the lineups here again. Stats: 11 shots on goal, 12. We had 1 shot on target. They had 5. How is that? But see, this is what I'm saying. We scored. It was an own goal. We only had 1 shot on target. They had 5. We only had 1. Like the striking. The amount of chances that Oshiman had, Chukwueze, they brick these chances. Big up Nambwali. He's much better than that Bozo Zoho. But if Nigeria are going to progress in this tournament, they have to do better. They have to do better. They have to do better when it comes to their chances. It's just not acceptable of a player of Oshiman's quality for you not to be able to put away the chances that he had. It's just unacceptable in my personal. He should be putting those away, and why he didn't put those away beggars belief. I don't get it. I don't understand it. Like I said, he should be putting them away. But at the end of the day, regardless of the situation, Nigeria still managed to come second, obviously with 7 points, obviously withdrawing Equatorial Guinea, which, if you keep it stacked, Nigeria, again, had they had better finishing, should have probably beaten Equatorial Guinea. Nigeria should have beaten Equatorial Guinea, but they didn't. Nigeria didn't beat Equatorial Guinea. It was a draw. Obviously, the shock, and maybe this is a sign of things to come. The shock win, because I thought, Ivory Coast being home, Cote d'Ivoire, sorry, the home advantage, that I'd expect them to be strong. I assumed that it was a potential that they could have lost the game. So the fact that Nigeria won the game 1-0, held out defensively, despite Ivory Coast knocking on the door, was a shock. And you thought, right, Ivory Coast have got to go out. They've got to go and beat Equatorial Guinea, which leads us into the other game, because, like I said, we can talk about Nigeria, and by all means, Nigeria obviously are through. And I think, if memory serves me, if things stay the way they are, they'll face either Guinea or potentially Senegal, which is wild, in the round of 16. Guinea or Senegal in the round of 16 is wild. But I think we have to talk about we've got to talk about this game. Let's have a look. We've got to talk about this fixture here. Because this was bad. I think, and I'd be interested to know if anyone who's watching later, to know how many people actually are what is the Ivorian response to everything that's happened effectively, because this is bad. this is very, 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 very bad. Very bad. I don't really know. Like, arguably the worst. Could you say possibly you could say this is the worst? This is the worst defeat in Ivorian football club history. In the nation's history, sorry. Could you make an argument that this is arguably the worst performance in in Ivorian club history? You could make the argument. You could actually make the argument that it is. It was so bad today. Now, it wasn't necessarily bad because they didn't have chances, but ultimately because the Ivorians couldn't finish. As you see in the stats here, 22 shots. 22 shots, but only 3 on target. 69% possession. Obviously, much far greater pass accuracy than Equatorial Guinea is 64%. Obviously, if I was 11 corners. So you have 11 corners, 69, almost 70% possession, and 22 shots, and yet 0 goals. It's a good thing. So it tells you that stats can actually really be deceiving. Stats can be deceiving, guys, because when you have a situation where you should, in theory, be the favorites to win. And I said, now one of the things I say several times in the stream is that I always thought that you can't sleep on Equatorial Guinea. You cannot sleep on Equatorial. These guys are dangerous, and low key could be, with the way this tournament is going on, potentially outside favorites to competition. Who knows? I don't know. I really, really, really don't know. I don't know, but I think this is a massive shock. If you're looking at, I think Emilio Noise, if I'm pronouncing that, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, but if you're looking at that guy, I think he plays. If Mike, who big up Mike, who's covering this, was anything to go by, this guy's a right back. This guy's a right back for his club, and yet he's cooking, and he's 34 years old. I'm looking at. Looking at the line. I'm looking at this Ivory Coast team. He's got 2 goals. This guy's 34. I'm looking at this. I'm looking at Fofana. I'm looking at Kessier. I'm looking at Sangala. I'm looking at Pepe. What these guys do? What did these guys do? What did they do? What did they do? You look at the bench. John Michael Seri at one point was good. Saw Jourier, you got them there. What did these guys do? What did these guys do? Absolutely embarrassing, absolutely humiliating if you are and you saw the crowd, the only negative about this whole thing, and I'll end with this, so is that Ivory Coast are hosting this competition. Their team has just got humiliated. What does that say for the atmosphere going into knockout stages? Because quite frankly, I don't think the atmosphere has actually been that great. The Ivorians have really only turned out for their team, obviously. And now their team has been baptized. It leads to a horrible taste in the mouth. I just don't know. I just don't know how this is going to go well for the Ivorian team. I really, really don't know. Hopefully, I'm wrong. We'll see what happens. But yeah, it's not looking good. But yeah, in summary, the Super Eagles live to fight another day, and we wait to see who they'll be drawn against. And if you're Ivory Coast, it looks like they're effectively going out. It looks like they're effectively going out at this point. It's not looking good, guys. It's not looking good, guys. Thanks everyone watching. Take care and peace.